Hey, good morning. I'm back from San Diego.
That's right. Michigan's back where it belongs with Brett Pinson in the house.
Yeah.
Is this sharing to Odd Musings? Let's see. I'm not finding it. Where is the stream so I can share it? Here
The
it is.
sharing I hear has gotten weird, man.
I know.
So
Where's
pain in the
this
butt.
page? It says live now, but there's no image. Well, I'll share this. Let's see if
Yeah.
that works. All right. Anyways,
Yeah.
how are you doing?
I'm
Good to
all
have you
right,
back.
man. Still recovering, but I'm doing all right.
Yeah, I always do find when I'm, for me personally, I don't know if being a morning person or a night person matters in the direction, but going that way to the West Coast, I always just fine to the jet lag and everything. I have no problem adjusting, but when I come back, I feel like it takes me a whole week to recover now.
Well, I worked yesterday. We got back. We landed actually a little early, but we missed all the rainstorms, which was good.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's good.
hair or something there. Um, but we still had to sit on the tarmac because they were so behind and delayed. So we were on the tarmac for a while, and we got up to the gate. Had to wait for the gate, so it took us close to 45 minutes to an hour to get off the plane once we touched down. But I was still home a little after 8. Kevin drove home, and I know he got home probably around 10:30 ish or so. And so because he had to work yesterday in the office, and I decided to work yesterday because it's one of the things you're gonna be tired anyways. You might as well do
Right.
something. And so I
Yeah.
figured I'd go work as much as I could and then come home. And it does take me a few days to get my sleep back to regulation because I'm already off when I'm out there. Come back here, it's still off. So it takes time. So,
Yep.
fun. But
Oh, sure.
they're not too bad. I've done it enough times. I know how to handle it.
Yeah.
So, and it worked out that we flew out on Monday night. So when we got in, we met up with my buddy Joel, who flew out from Pittsburgh to hang with us for the week, and got the car. And then we went to Costco and to a grocery store and then to the house. So we did our grocery shopping, got everything done. So got to the house, we just kind of relaxed, had a little bite to eat, and just chilled. We picked up a pizza at Costco that we had to cook. So we're talking. I didn't think about it. We ended up having pizza a couple times during the week. I didn't. It's just kind of the way it goes. But you're there a week, so it was a lot of meals. And then
Yeah.
Tuesday was our day to kind of go check things out. So we drove up towards Escondido, hit La Jolla, and just kind of drove to saw the beach and a couple of places, a couple of towns, and found this really cool record store. Kevin ended up buying some records. I didn't see anything I wanted that day, but we just had fun checking things out and relaxing. Did set up on Tuesday, which was great. We were able to go away and drop our stuff off, get set up. So on Wednesday, it was all just, get up when we get up, get going, and grab some hash house or go. Back to the house, make sure we got all our stuff we want to take with us that day because we didn't have to take any big suitcases. They're already there, and then go start the show, and then the marathon begins.
Yeah. Then the
So,
marathon. Yeah. Which
yep.
is kind of nice though, because with this year, both you and Kevin were working the Bardstone table, so you guys had chances to actually enjoy a little bit of the show while the other one would cover the table and
Yep.
um,
And
get
let's
some stuff. I saw Kevin got to meet George Takai and some others.
Yeah, we'll
How
cover that in
about
just a
you?
moment here. So let's go ahead and
Okay.
get your ad read out of the way
All
first,
right.
and then we can get into it.
Sounds good. Team Titans of Real Estate. Why? Because you matter. That's right. You know the spiel. We're here for you. It's real estate season. Summertime is when everyone likes to make their moves, especially if they have kids. They want to try to get moved in before the school year starts. So we're kind of getting towards the end of that time period because it takes about a month to close if you're using conventional mortgage, but there's still time to do that. So anyways, give us a call. I posted the number 586-232-5144. That's the Team Titans hotline. And we'll take care of you.
Well,
There you
a
go.
little late in some places because I had two friends post today. Their kids started in parts of Indiana school today.
Yep.
Down
Yeah. Oh,
around
yeah. Yeah.
Indianapolis area started today. I know. I believe Kevin's kids, because they're in Indiana, they all start. I believe next week. Same thing with like Georgia probably starts up next day or so. Because I always see a bunch of those. So those southern schools
I
they've been out
just,
since May though. So that's the whole thing.
yeah,
Is
for me, it's like, I don't know. I feel like you should at least have out August as a kid. Although kids don't play anymore. They don't go outside and have fun.
Well, I
So
know
maybe
like where Kevin's at, they do a couple weeks here and there. They have like a couple weeks off for
right.
Easter.
It's spread
They
out
do
more.
and they do different times off because it's still a lot of rural farming communities will take time off for planting. So
Right.
I was always generating stuff like that. But yeah, it was weird growing up in Michigan because when I was going all through school, it was always the Tuesday after Labor Day is when we,
Right.
and then we got out usually mid June. So we had all of July and August, and then half of
Mhm.
June. So now
Yeah, it was growing up in Massachusetts. The schedule was the same for me as well. And then when I moved out here, the schedule was the same. So I guess for me, I just always got used to it. It is they do. I believe those school systems that start really early like this, though, like you said, I think the number of days are pretty equivalent. It's just they have bigger times off at different points throughout the year,
yeah,
compared to
yeah,
us.
and plus they get out early. I mean, they get out usually beginning to middle of May, depending on where they're at
True.
and all that stuff. So everything like, oh, they're going so early. Well, they were out a month ahead of everybody else, so that makes a big deal. So uh
Oh, Connie, let's put her up there. Mississippi started in July, 6 weeks, and then went 6 weeks off for cotton picking. Oh, that's
yeah,
interesting.
that's when she was going to school.
Okay.
So back then. So I don't know if they still do that
Yeah.
now, but again, so it's the rural farming communities had to adjust for planting seasons
Yes.
and things like that. So that was something that they had to keep in mind.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
but yeah.
very
So as we
cool.
were talking, we were out in San Diego. It's always a show. I will say this: there was no big buzz this year about upcoming things, like or even something that was launching that week. Like last year, is all talk about Deadpool, Wolverine. They did all the big stuff, things like that. Not much there this year for that. They had some Hall H stuff here and there. No
Yeah.
huge announcements, no big reveals. In my opinion, that I saw that was not already been kind of talked about. Um, they brought out some different casts for different ones, like the Tron cast was there. The
Mhm.
big thing on the floor was people trying to get the Tron uh, record single. Nine Inch Nails is doing the music, and they had a special single. It's a triangle, like yay big, because it's a song on both sides. So that was huge. They're already going for like $250 to $300 online. I had someone I know messaged me and asked me if I could get them one. I was like, no, it ain't gonna happen. I mean, it's the line's too long, and they cap it early each day, and they only had 2,500. And if I was going to get somebody something, I'd be like, something like that. It's like, well, unless you're going to pay me like $300, I'm not getting it for you. I'll keep it for myself. So,
Right.
but and that people understand that when it comes to Comic-Con is getting exclusives is not easy. And if you can get them, you don't just want to get them and sell them to someone at cost or even a few dollars more, if you're going to
Right.
sell them. So, and then some like Mattel really screws all the people that win exclusives like me. I had my QR code show up. Oh no, you gotta get in line with everybody else. I was like, well, that's a bunch of crap. I said I got a timed entry, and
Yeah.
I'm
What was the
15
point of
minutes.
that then?
Yeah, I'm 15. Well, and then chick was like, oh well, they you should got an email. They got rid of all the QR codes. Yeah, and you've let all the vendors in here, and they wiped everything out. Before I
Yep.
mean, within an hour, it was all wiped out by these vendors, and I was like, you guys
Yeah.
suck. So I will have a hard. I mean, I'm sure I'll buy something Mattel because they own so many different ones now, but the Mattel experience, if I was ever to try for anything again, I would never pick that one again. And there was I saw a
Yeah.
couple hundred people posting on the different boards about how bad it was. I mean, people are like, I got a Sunday one. Is there anything left? They're like, nope, nope. They just let everybody
Oh my
buy whenever they
God.
wanted. That sucked, which
Yeah.
is fine. The two experiences I did get exclusives of were great. They were autograph experiences. First one was I got a chance to meet Tony and Ziva from NCIS,
Yep.
and I had a
Cool.
blast meeting them. Really nice. They were fun. They signed. Michael's is a little lighter signature than Cody's because of I think he switched pins, but you can still see it. I don't care. It's going on my wall. It's not like it's somebody would sell. And they both look great. They're in good shape. I think he's in the best shape he's
They
been
look the
in
same.
years.
They
Yeah,
look the same as 15, 20 years ago.
yeah, she does for sure, especially in person. Him, you see a little bit of age on him. You can tell he's dyed his hair
Okay.
some. I'm not criticizing because he's 58 years old. So I mean, he looks great for 58, and both are real excited about the show. Real excited for everybody to see it. I didn't go to the panel because we're working the table. We're not were running. We should take times to go off, so that wasn't my time to leave. But I guess at the panel they gave out hats, and it was what did they say? It was Tiva, Tiva forever. So like Tony and Ziva forever. And then it had like NCIS on the side. They were nice looking quality hats. So some of the different panels and stuff like that, they give out stuff. I guess Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, did a panel and gave out coupons that we could go get a hoodie and a hat or something like that. So I was like, well, that's kind of cool. That's a lot of giveaways.
Yeah.
But again, with the Hall H, you still had people waiting in line. I saw people posting it wasn't as bad to get in and out of there. You still had to wait at different times, but people were able to didn't have to weren't waiting like 8 hours all day to not get in. So,
yeah, from an outsider, just kind of trying to see what's going on from Michigan, there really wasn't much. It seemed like the big thing from an outsider standpoint was George Lucas's announcement. They showed him coming in and the reception he got. And then some small stuff, but some announcements like actually something I'm looking forward to is I guess Star Trek announced a new series called Starfleet Academy. That looks interesting. They have a trailer, and we could.
They had announced that. They announced that a while ago. This was just the reveal of the trailer. Yeah, so it wasn't.
Well, yeah, the trailer reveal.
It wasn't a surprise reveal. There really was no surprise reveals.
Yeah, nothing exactly. There was nothing like wow, that's what's coming.
Well, last year they had the whole Marvel did the whole Doctor Doom thing and then revealed I think it was last year, year before, whatever it was, they revealed
I think it was last year.
Yeah, last year because they brought out Doctor Doom, Robert Downey Jr. They announced Avengers Doomsday. They changed the whole lineup of movies. They just announced the year before even. So
So no big pow that like really was like, holy crap, did you hear that news? Like that part felt was missing from this year. Usually there's something.
Yeah, it was. And if you looked at the Hall H stuff, it was a big movie. Like here's the new trailer. Here's the first 10, 15 minutes of this show or movie or whatever. Kevin Smith did his evening with Kevin Smith there on Saturday, I think it was. But it was just, it was I don't know. It wasn't as there's a lot of people there, of course, but it was just not as buzzy and energetic buzzy on the floor or anything about different things. Usually, when something big gets announced, even we don't hear about it right away, people in Hall H start tweeting about it, texting about it, and everything else, and then you feel the ripple come through the floor of my god,
energy comes through.
Yeah, it didn't really have any of that, so.
Yeah. Even we were speculating prior on whether or not they would do something special for Fantastic Four with that coming out this week, but I didn't notice anything.
D23 had done their screenings around the country, but other than that, there was no big thing there. There was kept talking about it. People posted about a drone show happening. Didn't happen. They did a laser light show back on one of the ships on one of the nights, but they didn't do any drone show. I mean, part of it too is there's enough people that were posting in some of the official blogs that got pushed all around like this is happening, that's happening. Didn't happen. It was just people creating BS. So
what's funny is the biggest buzz of the whole weekend that I noticed from San Diego had nothing to do with any studio or anybody. It was a cosplayer dressed in a gigundous Galactus costume. Did you get to see him in person?
Oh yeah, like 4 or 5 times. He was all over the place.
Yeah. Now I actually follow that cosplayer online, and I've watched the build over the last 2 months. He's been posting process pics, so it was cool to see him actually walking. But it was massive. But that was the biggest pop for the whole weekend, and it was a cosplayer.
Yeah. It just there just wasn't really anything they needed to announce. I mean, I heard the Tron panel was really good. They brought out a couple of the stars for that. They did a laser light show, had people coming in dressed in the Tron gear. Out in the gas lamp at some point, a bunch of guys on bikes were dressed up in Tron. Their bikes were lit up like Tron. So they done a promotion that way. So they're promoting Tron pretty heavy for the I think, and because I think really that's in terms of movies coming out that Comic-Con promote, that was like the next biggest thing really that's coming out. Marvel doesn't have a movie coming out after Fantastic Four until Avengers Doomsday a year and a half from now. So I figured next year at Comic-Con, they'll be doing their big push of we have Avengers Doomsday and then Secret Wars and anything else they're going to announce in between those. DC really didn't have much. The comic collecting side, there were some cool exclusives. I didn't get one, but Kevin went and got one from the DC booth for $10. You got a box of milk bones and a special Superman cover with crypto on it. Looked really cool.
Yep.
And then EC Comics had a bunch of stuff. Kevin did go to the EC Comics panel and got a poster. And the poster was actually an uncut sheet of the cover of one of the comics they do.
Yeah.
And then the gal that writes the comic was there. So we had her sign a couple different ones. So we each got a signed one.
Yeah. Another thing that was popping up online regarding the different publishers was evidently there were some large empty spaces, and people were speculating it was from the Diamond distribution fallout.
Well, Diamond was there. Yeah, Diamond was there, and that gets me because
right. But some of the other publishers that rely on them.
No, I know. Missing. I got a point to that, and my point is, the guy we talked to was actually talking to us about going through Diamond. So we're like, oh, okay, I'll take your card. Thank you. And I think all the time, dude, y'all are bankrupt. You guys can, you've killed different people in that. I don't know how much it was other publishers versus media too. There's a lot of shakeup going on all through everything right now, and I could see where they, maybe they had some space they had held out for somebody, and that company said, well, we're not going to do anything, and they didn't come out there.
People were tying the empty spaces to the original program, and they figured out, I don't have them memorized, but they figured out who was missing. Yeah. And they were saying that those people all had Diamond contracts. Now, whether they're true or not, I don't know. I'm just telling you.
Do you have a name? Because I mean, all the major
not
players
off the top of my head.
I mean, you had like Image was there, Skybound. You had Oni Comics with EC. Now, I will say IDW was there too, and IDW did. A couple of them didn't have as big a space as they've had just last year, and that could be part of it too. Is they did downsize their size, space, and stuff like that. I did notice like even like the ABC booth, stuff like that on the main floor. But they did some signings. They used to have like these big, massive. They were smaller too, in my opinion. I mean, it's still packed in there. It was not, a couple of these spaces they showed were actually like more in the center. It was like in a divided area where it kind of, I think, helped with the traffic flow, anyways, more than anything. Right. If they'd had something there, the congestion would have been worse. But yeah, it was. Like I said, there was just not as ton of the buzz. There was a couple of the events. You had Paramount Plus had this thing where like a giant claw machine where you could win something. Outside, hey, the outside stuff. I saw the video for the Fantastic Four Google Play thing, and basically you went through that, and then you got Google Play points when you were done. So if you didn't have an Android or use Google Play, it would matter to you anyways. The South Park experience was ticketed and sold out fast. So a lot of the outside stuff, even though it was open to anybody, it was gone within like minutes of them dropping the stuff. So it wasn't just show up and wait in line for a lot of it. They had, some of them had wait lines, but people weren't doing it. So, but still a ton of people everywhere. Only saw a few of the cosplay meetups listed. I don't think people were doing as many of those. It's all a mix of different stuff. I mean, I saw stuff ahead of time, which I'm not going to even talk about, but that's politically charged about why they weren't going because they were worried about certain things, and it was ridiculous. It wasn't going to happen. There's enough, none of that stuff was going to happen. There was just too many people to try to get through. But then, it's like even the Funko Pop stuff, nobody was really going crazy about. There's people getting the exclusives, but there was nothing that got anybody super excited. So I think this year is just a lackluster year, and I think it ties into what everybody's doing. Everybody's not doing anything that's really noteworthy. I mean, Star Wars didn't talk about anything because there's nothing to talk about. They got Ahsoka. It's not come out until next year. And then you got the Mandalorian Grogu. So they'll save that for their D23 stuff. Their setup.
It's just odd that everybody has got like nothing new to announce.
Yeah,
like you think somebody would take advantage of that vacuum.
Well, I think they're all trying to, but I think the problem is they've been failing. As much as they want to say Superman's a hit, I said last week, well, it's not really a hit. Week to week, it was a 70% drop. That's a huge drop. And like right now, Superman worldwide is at 506 million. Well, a week ago, it was only like 475. So that's not a big jump on which should be a big marquee movie.
And it had no competition. Now we got Fantastic Four out, which is going to pull a lot of potential business from it. And as we talked about before, Superman, it was good enough for a one-time view, but it's not going to, there's going to be some fans who want to see it again and again, but it wasn't the type of story that the majority of fans are going to want to see again and again.
Yeah.
And so that's why its big pop was the first week only.
Yeah.
It was okay, but it wasn't wow.
Well, and the
And
people that
I'll give
have
a quick.
been, yeah, the
Go
people that
ahead.
have been really raving about Superman, and I heard very few at Comic-Con, but it's just like anything DC. It's never about the story. It's never about how good it was. It's always these little things. Oh, Crypto was so great. I love seeing Crypto. I just want to go watch Crypto all day long. Oh, I saw this thing. It reminded me of this comic I read. And I'm like, but the story itself was very blah. And
Yeah,
and then I know you saw Fantastic Four, and you said you liked it. I haven't seen it yet, so we're
I
not going to give
did.
any reviews on it. But
No, well, I'll just do pure spoiler free. I liked it better than Superman. Superman, I give a 6.57 to, 6.5 or a 7 out of 10 stars. Good enough to watch once. Fantastic Four, I think it's an 8.5. I was pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed it. It was fun, and it's one. Well, I see it multiple times at the theater. I could maybe do another viewing in the theater, but it's one that, like, when I'm rewatching old Marvel movies, I'll definitely rewatch it again multiple times. If I happen to see it on TV, it's fun where I would leave it on and watch it again.
okay.
So, and then as far as first movies go, like the first Ant-Man, first Captain America, sometimes movies get stronger as more come out because the cast is gelling. I felt like it worked. It worked. So I was happy with it. So I give it an 8.5. I say it's better than I was expecting.
Yeah.
It was a fun movie. As far as post-credit scenes go, there's a mid-credit scene that you definitely want to watch. The end credit scene is one of those end credit scenes where, like, I heard a lot of people like, we stayed for that. It's a silly thing. But if you like staying to the end, I enjoyed it still. But just know it's not a crucial one. So if you don't feel like waiting, don't wait. But
Well,
definitely watch the mid-credit.
The absolute best end credit scene ever is Grumpy Old Man with Walter Matthau in the bathtub going, if I knew it was going to be a nude scene, I'd ask for another million. Best one ever. So, but but in terms of Comic-Con, as a fan, I had fun on when I could. So besides the Tony Ziva one, I had the Primitive War signing, which is the Vietnam soldiers fighting dinosaurs. Definitely looks very cheesy. Not sure if I'll truly go see it. I wouldn't mind watching it, but not sure if I'll go see it. But I had a chance to meet a few of the actors and the director writer. It was funny because I'm in line. Of course, two guys ahead of me, we get to Trisha Helfer from Battlestar Galactica, like, oh, it's such an honor to meet you, and blah blah blah, big fan. Same thing. I get to her. I guess it's probably a big honor for you to meet me as I'm pushing my poster to her to have her sign it. She's like, well, yeah. I threw her off guard. She's like, well, yeah, I've been waiting here all day for you. I was like, well, I figured that. So then I got to check to Jeremy Piven, who I am a big fan of. I'm not a fan of Trisha Helfer. She's fine. I like her, but and so I started talking to him, and he looked bored the whole time till I got to him. And then when I told him, I said, he kind of perked up. I said, yeah, I listened to a bunch of movies. I said, I've always enjoyed your stuff. I appreciate all the years of entertainment. Look forward to see this one eventually, and then other stuff that you do. And he looked at the agent guy next to me. He goes, see, now that's a man with taste. So it was fun on that. And so I had a good time with those two. And then we got the Kevin and I both spun in one to get meet the cast of Resident Alien with Alan Tudyk. So we got a signed poster. They had to cap the line. It's funny. They gave away a ton of wristbands, but the cast was late getting there. They were taking forever. And part is the first people that got them through were all just way too chatty. And the people like, don't talk, just move. Don't talk, keep minimal conversation, just move. And the actors were just as bad as the people initially. Then they realized we got like 10 minutes. We got 5 minutes, and we were still not up there yet. So they rushed through getting all the stuff signed. They were also signing, you could have one other thing signed beside the poster. And so some people were getting stuff signed and talking. A nice thing that Kevin did is there was a gal in line. She had a original drawing of Alan Tudyk's character as the alien. She wanted to get signed. She didn't make the line. She was right there at the cutoff. So Kevin walked over and said, want me to get that signed for you. And she was so appreciative. And even though they told us not to, Kevin showed it to Alan Tudyk and he signed it because it's such cool. Gavin Smith, good friend of ours. Gavin Smith is the one that did the artwork over in Artist Alley for. He's been working on Turtles, did some Star Trek. We got a lot of cool things going on. So him and I had a chance to catch up too. But I thought that was pretty cool. And then got our posters, and then the show's closed. We had to run back and close up our stuff. Fortunately, Joel was great at helping us out. Enjoyed having him hang with us all weekend. He got to go have his fun, do what he wanted, and he got to see the craziness in the marathon that is Comic-Con.
Yep. So, yeah. Well, that's awesome.
Yep. Applied already for next year because they sent me the link, and Bardstone's looking to be back next year, and small press will let you know. It is always a year-to-year thing, but we love being there. We love the new books. People loved them. We had a good time with all that stuff, and we should have some more new stuff next year because we're all working on new stuff right now.
Yep. Excellent.
So there's Comic-Con and a re-up.
There you go.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, over here, not much has been going on here. So you didn't miss much in Michigan. We had a couple of famous deaths happen, which, we had Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan and Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yeah, it was just last week. It was like every time I turned on Facebook, there was somebody. But Tuesday we got a text for Ozzy, and today they had his funeral this morning. They're probably wrapping it up now. It was supposed to start at 8 a.m. Eastern. And then, and then also, Malcolm Jamal we'd already heard about. And then Ozzy died. We're like, you're kidding me. It was like, you don't expect 2 weeks after they do that last concert for Ozzy to die,
Yeah, they were showing some interviews with Ozzy leading up to it, though. And he said in a couple different ones where, like, I'm dying. I know it. There's nothing I can do about it. And then, like, on stage, he said, this is my last song forever. So people are like, in hindsight, it's like, did he, like,
he knew. I mean,
they said some people know. They know.
I thought he'd go a few more months. So
yeah,
but yeah, he just kind of, and I saw a video that his daughter posted with the grandkid. And he looked fine. I mean, he was there. He looked as good as he did any other day in the last few weeks. But yeah, he's it was all tearing him up inside. Everything was so.
Yeah.
But and then
so some big losses.
Yeah, Malcolm Jamal Warner drowning. That was sad. That was he was out there with his dog, and it got caught by a riptide. And
and the sad thing about that is he was freaking dumb. They showed the beach. There's signs all over that beach saying, "Don't swim here. You have a high chance of drowning. That riptides are common." It's like, why would you swim at a beach like that? It's like with his daughter. Thank God his daughter was saved. They tried saving him. Unfortunately, it was too late. That's sad. And he was at Hogan a point in his life where he seemed to really be going well. Well, Hogan, he had cardiac arrest there, but more's coming out. He had there was an issue with a past neck surgery. Yeah. So they were doing this very risky neck surgery on him. And it sounds like there were complications in the new surgery that then led to this cardiac arrest. So I feel like what I'm reading, the cardiac arrest was kind of a byproduct of the surgery. Yeah. Which, sometimes blood clots and different things occur from post-surgery. So, but I guess it got so bad. It was like, they knew there was risk here, but he had to take it. So they haven't revealed the exact details, but it sounded like it was kind of like, there's no more option here. We have to do this. Right. So, but so he, some big legends in multiple industries,
Yeah, and there was a bunch of other ones like Chuck Mangione. People may not know who he is, but he's a jazz artist. People know his music when you hear it. He'd done his stuff for years, and that so in terms of musicians, we had quite a few. It was like every time you looked, it's like, here's this guy dying, here's that guy dying, and like, geez, what the heck is going on here? So Connie Francis had passed away the other week. She was, and some were up there. They're in the 80s, stuff like that. So it wasn't like young people all the time, but and then you see stuff like Rennie Kirby, and people may not know him, but he was the guy that was in real life was slightly disformed and walked on his hands, stuff like that. But he's in Shallow Hal and done a few other things with the Farrelly brothers and stuff like that. So he'd done a little acting and stuff like that. You see that pop up. Kind of go through. There's like a whole list of a lot of them. Like, I don't know that one. That one. Oh, okay, I recognize that one. And and then we've had a bunch over the last year, even this past year. So the last week, it felt like every time I turned on the Facebook, it was, hey, there's here's a new death for you.
Yeah, it's weird how it can come in waves sometimes.
Yeah,
or it's like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah. So,
But
but yeah, it was definitely,
well,
and
for
people talk
me,
about it at the shows a little bit, not
Hulk
much.
Hogan
So,
was a big part of my childhood for sure.
yep.
So and it's one of those people. Even though he's getting older, there's certain people. Ozzy Osbourne too. When people hit that legend status, it's almost like they reach a level of immortality in your head, where even though they're aging, their health might not be as good, it's still shocking when it happens because
Right.
there's an element of their persona that is immortal, so to speak, in the mind, and so it hits you, I think, a little harder because it's like, oh, didn't think that was possible with that person. Even though we know it is, but
Well, and with the wrestlers, so many of them don't make it to even Hulk's age,
oh
because of
yeah, a
all
lot of
the
them pass before 60.
yeah, just because of the
Yeah,
wear and tear on their bodies, the things they ingested, stuff like that. So
yep.
it's and he was like fine, but yeah, he had so many other health issues that kind of leads to that a little bit.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. He had like, I forget now. It's something like 12 back surgeries, multiple hip surgeries, multiple neck surgeries.
yeah,
Yeah, it takes a toll eventually.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so there was that. Trying to think what else. Oh, I'm getting caught up. I don't know if you've seen Strange New Worlds, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Is season 3 has been coming out.
Yep, I'm caught
So
up. I watched the
oh
first 2
yeah,
episodes the week before we left, and then last week we popped it up on the TV there at the house
yeah,
and watched the current episode. And I'm
I'm enjoying it. Oh, you went to the high pitched sound again. All of a sudden, let's see if that works. So far, I hear nothing from you. Now you're mute. Maybe talk.
yeah,
There you go.
hello.
That worked.
Okay,
That worked. So that
cord.
reset you.
I must have hit the cord and it does something where it moves or something. So I'll have to keep an eye on that.
Okay. Yeah. So that worked. Now we know unplugging and plugging it back in works.
Yeah. So
Good to know.
yeah. So we're watching. We
What were
watched
we saying?
Star
Oh,
Trek.
yeah. Strange New Worlds.
We watched the third episode last week. Very good. I think, and we knowing that, and I don't know if they had an idea going to this season, but they got what? This is the third season, so they got 2 more seasons after this. So everything you do this season will eventually lead to the next 2 seasons to lead to an ending, and the ending should tie in directly to the original series.
Yeah. So
in some ways.
you've watched the first 3 episodes. So the last episode you saw was the Spock one.
Yeah, that's the most recent one. Yeah.
Well, there's one more now. There's a 4th one.
Did it just drop?
I watched it 2 nights ago, I think. So, I mean, for you, it just dropped because with all your traveling.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that dropped tomorrow. No, I've seen through episode 3. That I've watched the 3 episodes. There was the Federation Celebration one, the Wedding Bell Blues, and then episode 3 was Pike and Omega enter disputed Klingon space to find a cure for Batel.
Oh, that's the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was the 4th episode. So you're up to date then.
Yeah. I knew it was.
I thought
See,
that was episode 4.
Here's what you're confused with. You the first episode this season is part 2 from the finale from last season.
Okay, so there's 4 episodes out, but the first episode was considered part of the last season?
No, there's 3 episodes out. Episode 1 of season 3 is part 2 from the season finale of season 2. So if you're thinking that route, that's where you might have thought you saw 4 episodes.
Gotcha.
So I know I watched the finale again, knowing that this one was a continuation directly, so I could, in case I missed anything and wanted to. It's been 2 years. So after watching that, so episode 4 is tomorrow. It's called a Space Adventure Hour. Leanne evaluates a prototype holodeck with a fictitious case that only she can solve.
There you go. So I'm enjoying these episodes. I like the old school feel. How like they're even going with campy with some of them. I liked with the one where they had the alternate reality with the wedding with Spock, and like he even mentions like talks about how, like, yeah, one time we entered a dimension where we all sang, but don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
I guess they have one lined up for next season with the Muppets, or they're all Muppets or something.
I think that might be
Jim
this
Henson.
season. I think that might be this season.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was reading something about the Muppets being involved or something.
Yeah, there's some talk with that. You know, they're going to do some different things, of course. But the thing I'm curious
they do
to
in a
see,
way that actually works. That's what's amazing.
yeah, what I'm curious to see though is how it does directly tie into the original. Now they've got that new Starfleet Academy come out, which is post Discovery, so they can maybe just ignore the Discovery stuff and create a whole new Starfleet. We'll see how it goes. I'm not excited about it because of the time frame. Because I didn't care for the Discovery. So the only thing Discovery did good was introduce Pike and get the spin-off Strange New Worlds. What I'd like to see, and of course they're not going to announce this until probably the season, you know, the last season of Strange New Worlds. If there's what's going to be after that, I'd like to see them do a continuation from that. They don't have to do Kirk and Spock, but they could do something else with that. I mean, and they could definitely do Kirk. They've introduced a Kirk. We have Spock. They've already introduced Scotty in Strange New Worlds. And then we've got Uhura. You know, so we need, you know, they can start to introduce some of the other characters down the road as they move forward to get to that point. And then I'd be curious to see if they would recreate and reimagine what they did in the original series with Pike. You know, when he's basically damaged and destroyed and was living in the own mind of those aliens, but he was, you know, couldn't do anything. So.
Well, with Starfleet Academy, what I hope they do is, I hope they just do a good job at telling a Star Trek story. It'll be interesting to see a whole series from a vantage point that isn't on the bridge of a ship. You know, we're seeing a part of Starfleet that we know about, but it's not one that we've really followed before. You know,
right? So
I'm looking forward to that. Holly Hunter is the main in there, and I think, you know, she's a great actress, so I think she'll do well. But maybe they could introduce some kind of character that we then follow their career moving forward.
Yeah.
And that could turn into a future captain. That would be cool.
Yeah.
We kind of see the origin story of this character without realizing who the character is up front, and they just develop into it, you know?
Well, I mean,
so we'll see.
It'll be interesting because it's now they have some first look teasers online. Let me see if I can pull it up here on YouTube.
I guess the part I'm confused about, I do have the trailer from San Diego.
Yeah, that's
saying
the
it
first
takes place in the 32nd century. Saying it's the first class of students in a century. So was Starfleet Academy shut down in the?
Well, you got to remember during Discovery, the whole point was they had that one fixed point where they basically blew up everything, and they destroyed Starfleet. So they were rebuilding Starfleet when Discovery came to the future, which was stupid.
Okay, so we're after that point in time is where we're at.
This is post Discovery. Yes.
Yeah, I guess I just don't count Discovery as existing. I forgot about all that. But you're right, that did happen.
What they're doing is some of the things we speculate with Star Wars to forget the sequel series is just jump past it and keep going. You acknowledge it because you're not going to erase it, but just move forward. So if you got the trailer up, we can bring it up and watch that.
Yeah, let me pull up. Let's see, share screen. I just gotta scroll to where it is. It is. Let's see. These are all the different trailers released. Here we go. Oh, gotta watch an ad, I guess.
Always do.
Lutron automated shades cut
glare. Not even let me enlarge. There we go.
And so, we begin. I'm Captain Nala Ake, Chancellor of Starfleet Academy. We're all the first Academy class to return to our campus in San Francisco after more than 120 years. Some of you are here for your families, some for yourselves. Together, you are the best and the brightest from across the galaxy. A tapestry that is Starfleet. You will learn the skills that shaped our greatest officers. Like them, we'll ask you to give more of yourselves than you knew you had. To dream without limitations. Whatever challenges came before today led you to this moment. You here now. You weave together the future. So go out and seek, explore, boldly go where no one has gone before. It is my great honor to welcome you all to Starfleet Academy.
Well, I recognize a few other Star Trek actors.
Yeah, so I'm curious how that's going to work in.
Yeah.
Although maybe on Discovery, Robert Picardo, will be curious to see how they do him. Like, is he an aged hologram of the Doctor? Because he was the Doctor in Voyager, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think it was Voyager.
Yeah.
So he was the Doctor hologram.
Yeah, he's the Doctor. So
interactive, whatever.
Yeah, he's the Doctor, and I probably have something where he basically it's a physical manifestation of the AI. So
right,
that's basically what he was. And then Tig Notaro, she plays Jet Reno, and she was on
Discovery, right?
Yeah, was she on Discovery?
Strange New World.
I thought she was on Discovery, but
it's either Discovery or Strange New Worlds.
Well, if it's Strange New World, she jumped up 1,000 years in the future, so
yeah.
But yeah, so it's. Let's see here. Yeah, she was Discovery, so that works for her, and she's playing the same character. So this is not too far past
or
the Discovery era. Yeah, so probably within a year or so. I think the best thing is they don't have the Michael Burnham character, which is just a lame character all the way around. They're gonna have a few people, and she was one. I know she was one of the popular characters on there. So we'll see on that. I'm looking at the IMDb shows a full cast list, so I'm not sure that. And then somewhere just in one episode, like you've got right now they show just Robert Picardo, Tig Notaro in one episode. Oded Fair from the Mummy movies. He was the guy that was trying to stop them from releasing the Mummy in the first Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser. He's in that, but he was in he was the guy that was in the series too. I think he was the guy that was the head of Starfleet at the time. So yeah,
I like how the one shot said the James T. Kirk Pavilion, it's named after passing. Although you could technically bring Shatner back and have him play a great grandson of Kirk. But now he's old.
Well, I think they set it up though in the canon though. Kirk doesn't have any kids. His one son got killed during Star Trek 2 or 3.
He has kids on many planets.
Well, if they did that, then if they did that, they'd have to get a green alien kid.
So they could have a big scandal break where, like those cases here where some sperm bank doctor has 140 children. That's the scandal in Starfleet with Kirk. They find out he has 14,000 children.
And if they do that, I do not watch it. That's just fucking stupid.
Every time Kirk ripped his shirt off, pregnancies occurred.
Yeah. But I know there's been
I'm looking forward to this show.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of Star Trek fans that for years have been wanting to see a Starfleet Academy series or something like that. I really think that it's better be good. If it's like Discovery, in my opinion, it's fine. But the problem with this is going that far in the future. What really makes Star Trek work, in my opinion, has been what's with Strange New Worlds is you still have the boundaries. The Klingons have their own area. You have the Romulans. You have the Gorn. You run it, but now they're going so far out. It's like, okay, we're blowing past all this stuff, and we got way more open space. And it's like, now you gotta go try to find all these crazy new aliens to come in, and then they got all this crazy technology now that it's kind of like superheroes where you make them way too powerful. It's like, are they going to be way too powerful or anything else to really make it worthwhile in terms of the conflict? And granted, it's Starfleet Academy, so they're not going to be out going in space. It's going to be stuff,
Right.
you're watching them train and stuff like that, and you'll see some space stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't
think
know.
it gives them an opportunity to do a reboot in a way where, as long as the writing is good and they create a compelling storyline, it's fine if there's new aliens and new designs. I think it's a way to update the old 60s tech that's in the original stuff and bring it into a modern way, but still futuristic, as long as the writing's good.
Yeah.
And I where my hope in this is, I think watching Strange New Worlds is proof that they've learned their lesson from Discovery. Strange New Worlds has found the essence of Star Trek again.
Well, and I think what they were able to do there is by creating the timeline thing, they showed that they updated the tech. So it's not all flips and switches like it was in the original.
Yeah.
So I think going forward, I'd like to have seen this take place, not necessarily coinciding with Stranger Worlds directly, but as they create this new timeline of stuff as they're going forward, what's going to happen after Stranger Worlds. This would have been a great bridge from Stranger Worlds to have it in that timeline, and going say, here's what's going on here with the Starfleet Academy training versus, and then eventually when Strange Worlds is done, you tie in, this is what happened to the Enterprise to a new Enterprise, and you can have a class graduating that's going to go towards being on that new Enterprise versus this so far in the future, things like that. I think it'd be great to, as a bouncing, show that could have bounced up to a new series with some of the people, not all, but continued on with their own thing. So
yeah, I mean, it all comes down to what is the goal of the studio. I'm guessing from the time frame they set is they're truly trying to break away from the timeline everyone knows to create new canon, which I have no problem with. Like I said, as long as it's good, it can be.
And again, it's
there's
not
enough
a problem; it's a
timeline
concern. I have a concern more than a problem. So
there that they could always go back and do shows just like what you're mentioning, because I think that's a great time period to explore too. Yeah. So as long as they're good and they stay true to the essence of Star Trek and get away, and I think they've learned their lesson. Well, this show will tell us. Are they going to go the route of Discovery or go the route of Strange New Worlds? As far as the essence of the show and the characters.
Well, I think the problem with Discovery failed was it was too heavily Michael Burnham. It wasn't Star Trek. They tried to tie in all this other Star Trek stuff too, but they always kept going back to her and her agenda and whatever she wanted to do and go from there. And I think that's where things just got a little crazy. To answer Michelle's question real quick, because it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. She said she saw in Force Awakens robots moving. I never paid attention to those robots that maybe in the background, but they reuse a lot of that stuff in different movies. So it could have been just somewhere they picked up a bunch of robots.
Oh,
so
yeah, a lot of times people sometimes it's a budgetary thing where they have access to other props from other studios, just like on Tatooine. I think it was the ship from 2001 was sitting there next to the cantina when they're walking in. Yeah. So that was very common. It doesn't necessarily mean something. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it's just an Easter egg because they themselves are a fan of that series, so they had access to put something in there as an homage. Yeah. So I don't think it's something to read into, but I think the other key difference with Discovery, as far as the character Michael Burnham, is the actress they chose. She was fine enough as a secondary character on Walking Dead. Yeah. But she doesn't have the gravitas, so to speak, to be a leading actress, in my opinion. She doesn't have the acting range or the chops. And they were trying to force us to like her as a leading character. I think she would have been fine if they cast her as a secondary. Holly Hunter has the acting chops to be the lead.
I don't think she's the lead, though. I think the lead is going to be the students. And she's she's coming in as she's the name they could throw up there as the big name, But I think that
she'll be the Obi-Wan is how I'm picturing it. She's the mentor.
Yeah, I don't even think she's going to be in it that much. Even sometimes, I think it's going to be more just like here and there. I mean, we may get an episode or two more with her, but I think
that might be.
I think that the problem with, like I said, with the Discovery versus this in terms of the actors, it's twofold. One is, I mean, the actress that plays Michael Burnham, she's all right. I didn't care either. The problem was the character itself from the get-go. They try to break all these rules and say we're being edgy and we're being this and that, and it wasn't. It was stupid. It goes against everything that was Star Trek and stuff like that in terms of who she was as a character. And I don't think you could have got the greatest actress in the world. I don't think anybody could have pulled off Michael Burnham any better because the character itself was written that way. And that's where the problem ran into.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's the only part I disagree. I agree they couldn't have got anyone to play that character well because it was poorly written. But I think if it was well written, I don't think that actress could have pulled it off either.
I think if they wanted a well written character, they wouldn't have hired her.
There you go. I can agree with that.
Yeah. So I mean that's my take on it, and I think it's because we went with that. They were trying to elevate her up, thinking, well, this is a known franchise coming from a new established franchise, which really nobody cares about as much anymore, anyways. And we're trying to go from there, but again, it was a poorly designed. I mean, you saw that in the first season, by the way. They changed the way look of all these of like the Klingons, everything else. Well, we're changing everything and trying to make it fresh, and it didn't. Made it boring, made it really crappy. And then they said, well, we'll go to the whole Pike thing because we've never used Pike, and all the Pike stuff through that second season was the best stuff there. One, you got a solid actor. Two, they wrote the best stuff for Pike and Spock and all them. And then, of course, making the Burnham character Spock's adopted sister was just stupid. They were trying to tie in stuff that shouldn't have been tied in, and that's part of the problem was that. And really, we got lucky that the Pike stuff worked, and we got a good series out of it. But for Discovery, I stopped watching after the time jump. I watched one episode, like, okay, I see where they're going with this. That's pretty much right. It was all about her and the guy, and then the Star Trek stuff you want to see as the ship was all secondary. I mean, and hell, most of the characters are treated as third-class citizens.
Had they made the focus of the show the alien, he was kind of like the Spock of the series.
The one that the main ended up being the captain for a while.
Yeah. Had he been the main character that they were following, he was a compelling character, and I liked his backstory. Even the scenes with Michael Burnham and him together were good, but I felt that character would have carried it better.
Yeah, it was Saru, played by Doug Jones.
Saru.
Yeah, Saru was fantastic. Yeah. And there was characters on there I liked the Sylvia Tilly character. Yep. I thought she added a nice little thing to it. I liked the Anthony Rapp character. I liked his take on that. There was different ones in there I kind of liked, but everything they kept doing was they were trying to continuously take it away from what Star Trek is. Was you call the show Discovery, they didn't really discover anything. They just showed up, and then you got to follow her doing all these missions that basically break Star Trek protocol. And some of you might want to say, well, Kirk did. Well, if Kirk did it, it was to save lives. It wasn't for their own gratification, which I felt with her. So, but other than that,
we'll see where this goes.
Yeah, that was the big announcements for Star Trek. Was they talked about Strange New Worlds and the new Starfleet Academy at Comic-Con. So they're really trying to rebuild the brand properly. So we'll see what happens there. Did you get a chance at all? We watched it last week to watch Happy Gilmore 2. I
did not, but feel free to give a spoiler review if you want.
Well, it's not much to spoil on it, but
I know. I honestly, I probably won't end up watching it.
I will tell you this. I mean, did you like the first movie?
Anything Adam Sandler does, he's kind of like Will Ferrell for me. I really like him in small doses, but watching him actually the only movie I really love him in, and it's a dumb movie, is the Halloween one.
Hubie Halloween.
Hubie. I actually love that one. but I don't know why.
Spoiler-free review on this real quick is it's a Happy Gilmore movie. Yeah. There's a nice little plot story there to drive everything forward. It's got some heart in it, like it always does. There's a lot of nods to those that are no longer with us that were in the other one. They brought in a lot of the different professional golfers, which was great. We had the three of us. So I had Kevin, myself, and Joel. Popped it on. We went and got some Mexican food at a place right near the house we were staying at, and brought it back to the house. Popped on Happy Gilmore 2, and we laughed through the whole thing. Is it the greatest comedy in a while? No, but it was exactly what it needed to be. It was a fun comedy where you laughed, and I see people trashing it. It sucks. It's this. It's that. I'm going, this ain't going to be the greatest thing ever. It's a direct sequel to his other one 30 years ago, and it's Happy Gilmore. It's meant to be that stupid Adam Sandler comedies that these people that hate it today were laughing at back in the 90s when, he's so funny, he's new and raw, and blah, blah, blah. It was that kind of comedy. It was funny. It was great to see different things in it. And, seeing people like, John Daly basically playing himself was great. So I enjoyed it a lot. I would definitely watch it again anytime. It's one of those definitely I could pop up, just say I want to have it on. It's one of those things where you watch it, it's like, oh, you know what? Wouldn't mind if he wants to revisit some of his other characters, do a similar treatment and does it well. That'd be great to see it. It doesn't have to, but I think Happy Gilmore works the best out of all the ones he did in the 90s for a good direct sequel in that. So,
okay,
but definitely worth watching.
Cool.
So,
I'm looking through the trailers here. They did release the Gen V Season 2 Comic-Con trailer.
Yeah,
so that's been released.
We get Starlighters in that one.
Okay.
So, yeah, Gen V is supposed to have Starlighter, so.
Yes, I saw images of her.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if there was anything else really in it. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. They released a trailer for that. That actually looks good. Percy Jackson Season 2. Did you like the Season 1 of Percy Jackson? I didn't watch that yet.
It was good.
It kind of fell away from me.
I liked it better than the movie because they got time to spend with it, and it's a road movie. Basically, is the best way to describe it. Against that first one. I've never read the book, so I can't compare them. See what they left out versus what they put in. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine, and I know they got the second come out. They did a whole Percy Jackson thing at the convention, and again, nobody was coming around buzzing like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this, can't believe that." So, Jill wants Adam Sandler doing Wedding Singer 2. Now that might not be too bad.
Yes.
The problem with that one is it's 30 years almost since Wedding Singer 2, which takes place over 10 years prior because it was set in the mid 80s. So if they brought him up and he's older now, you'd have to send him in the mid 2000s, and I wonder how well that would work.
Well, and you could still bring Billy Idol back.
Yep. Well, that's the thing. They could definitely.
He was the connection point.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see if they did something like that. I love The Wedding Singer. I think it's a great film. I enjoy that one.
So I had mentioned Hubie Halloween. Wedding Singer is another one I can watch over and over again with Adam Sandler that I really like. There's two Adam Sandler movies.
It's because even though he does a few of his Adam Sandler things in it, it was a really good romantic comedy. The ones he did with Drew Barrymore were all really good romantic comedies. Between you had The Wedding Singer, you had 50 First Dates, and then you had Blended. And they were all fun. And I would like to see him and her do something else again together. Because he's done a couple now with Jennifer Aniston. It's been good. The mystery ones on Netflix have been not too bad. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Or I think with the Wedding Singer, if they did Wedding Singer 2, it'd almost have to be something tied into like their kid or something like that, being a wedding singer, or him being a famous musician or writer, and then his kid decides to go out and do something. I don't know, but it'd be interesting to see. They can't do the same story they do with Happy Gilmore and kill off the wife, which is not a spoiler because they do that in the first 2 minutes of Happy Gilmore. And it was in the trailer. But it'd be interesting to see if he does something else with that. Things like that. But I did like
Billy Idol is getting married again, and he hires Adam Sandler to sing at his wedding.
Well, that would be kind of funny.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and Billy Idol's like 69 now, so. And then Adam, I know he's not that old, but he's getting up there. He's 58, so I don't know.
I'm sure Rob Snyder and David Spade need jobs, so he has to get on it.
Actually,
That's the
Snyder
running
and
joke with all of them.
yeah, I know, but yeah, well, yeah, in the movies there, but yeah, Snyder and Spade are actually doing pretty well. They both got a lot of lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Not always movies, TV shows. They got a lot of stuff going on. So, but yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
I was going to say, as we're talking about trailers, this one popped up. The Peacemaker trailer was released for season 2 of Peacemaker. So it looked. Did you watch that trailer yet?
No, I haven't seen that trailer. I liked the first season. It was. I mean, it's.
You want to see the trailer or not?
Yeah, we can watch it. Yeah, we watch it real quick.
Okay. Here, probably have to watch an ad.
There we go. Funeral singer. Yeah. Jill says we can have the funeral singer.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
I like it.
The whole thing could take place at the wedding singer's funeral.
Got beer.
There we go.
On. Duh. Oh, okay. Okay.
Just hand it to him.
I'll just hand it to him.
I was looking back on my life.
I've changed a lot since I last saw you.
And all the things I've done to me.
I don't want to be a joke anymore. I want to be a real hero.
I'm still looking for the end.
You wear a clown costume and go out and beat up people.
Chris, take something bad and make something good out of it.
I need to find the Peacemaker. He killed my son.
My past haunting me.
You're being monitored right now.
By who?
Rick Flag, Sr.
Whoa.
What is it?
I have a dimensional portal. And it leads to a parallel world.
What?
It's not that big a deal.
Get the f out, it's not.
My son is a better man you could ever dream of being. I've tried to make up for my mistakes, but I'm not sure redemption is possible.
He's in love with you.
Me and Chris, it's never going to be a thing.
I'm going to make a life in the other world.
There's another dimension. It's exactly the same as ours.
But better. Best dimension ever.
Dude, that's sick.
We need to close that dimensional rift.
The condoms are partnering you up with our new agent, Rip Jagger.
Who's Rip Jagger?
Hey, fatty. No matter how green the grass is over there, you belong here with us.
We're going to get Chris back.
You met your own self from a parallel dimension? You're wearing his clothes.
You think I bought this? That's painful.
Hi, Mom. We're going to my secret room. You're not allowed to follow.
You must be John.
Uh-huh.
Jesus.
You're not that dorky.
Shut up, Mom.
That's all right.
So it looks like they're going to use a multiverse portal to get him into
Yep.
the current Superman universe, which makes sense. Easy way to transfer him over.
Yeah.
And being a James Gunn character, he's going to want to keep that.
Yeah, because everything James Gunn is, he does for sure. It's going to be all canon now. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
that's the other thing. There was nothing DC announced last week really that was like, oh, hey, wait for this or that. It's like, everything's kind of whatever. So I don't know. It's just I saw here, so.
Some rumors floating around about who they're looking at for Wonder Woman and different things. Speculation about Batman, but it's all just at this point hearsay. Nothing is officially coming out anywhere.
Yeah, because he supposedly got someone in mind for Batman, but it's and then the Batman 2. I don't know what's going on with that. And they keep.
I have a feeling that's going to go away.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, James Gunn confirms that it's not going to be part of the DCU. So, I don't know. It's made some money. The Penguin was great.
Oh, definitely.
But I mean, now,
could definitely.
Yeah.
They could merge it together. I don't think there's anything about that universe with the Robert Pattinson that wouldn't be able to be merged in.
Right.
So if they wanted to, they could. And I'm surprised I'm saying it because, I was not a fan of the Robert Pattinson casting, but it came out much better. But I think the key was the writing was good.
Yes.
Just like the Penguin, the TV series was phenomenal for the Penguin. It's such a goofy character when you look at him in the comics. To bring him into the real world, it was really done well.
Yeah. Well, supposedly, according to Variety, so this is a legitimate source, on June 27th, they said that Matt Reeves has completed the script for Batman 2. And right now, the tentative release date is October 1st of 27. So that'd be 5.5 years after the original came out.
Right.
So, and then James Gunn is going to introduce his own Batman. They just haven't said when. And they're all talking, they're recasting all these characters now. So I think that's what we'll see next year is we're going to see the big Marvel DC Hall H stuff next year. Here's what's coming. So
I wonder how much of all the announcements got messed up. Just, if you look over the course of the last 5 years, COVID shut down all of Hollywood for a while.
The writer's strike.
And then it came back, and then we had the writer's strike. So I just wonder if it was this weird convergence of all the projects fell into this weird in the middle, too soon to announce state, too late to announce state. So I think everything just kind of ended up in this vacuum.
I think it's threefold. You had the COVID, you had the writer's strike, but then you had not just one type of franchise, but several different franchises that everything they had coming out was failing miserably because it was garbage. So they've all had to scale back and take a step back and we need to what worked, what didn't work, and now we're going from there. Yeah. And that's where I think even with for Marvel with the Fantastic Four, they this is nothing what they were going to do. They were going to do this whole Kang thing. They had all this stuff scheduled out. It all failed, so they scaled back and they redid some stuff within Fantastic Four to move forward with something different. And we'll see how that really works.
Feige's trying to say he realized right away Kang wasn't a strong enough character, and that's oh, stop! You're rewriting history now. Yeah, the whole thing was around Kang. You announced the whole movie.
Yeah, his whole thing was he was like, we're just throwing crap on the wall and see what sticks. But he was letting people just run willy-nilly, and just like Star Wars did, and got things way off track. I mean, it's like the Star Wars booth at Comic-Con. They had just some props set up in boxes, and they had stuff from Andor. They had stuff from a couple of the other series, but no big deal stuff there. Yeah. It was everything. A lot of the reference stuff that you saw was all older stuff. It's like the big reveal for HasLabs is the dropship, the clone dropship. Yeah. And it's like, and I saw it. It's all right. I mean, it's as I was texting a buddy of mine when they did the reveal because he's getting that stuff, and he was like, he goes, really? Who's gonna want that? I said, I don't know. I think they released that for this year, and we got 2 years until the big 50th anniversary for A New Hope. So my thought is next year for HasLabs, they've done some really cool vehicles. They did the Ghost, they did the one for Mandalorian, which after they did the pre-order for that, or the crowdfunding they call it, then the show comes out and they blow it up. So all these people drop $400 on a ship that's no longer on the show, which sucked because it was a great ship. And then they've done some other ones here, but the big reveal, I think next year, if they're going to do a big reveal, they haven't done this. They need to do one of two things. They've done a couple of extras that they need to do a highly detailed. It'll be expensive, between probably $500 like the other ones are of the Millennium Falcon, because everything they've done really has all been based off the 70s toy for toys that were released. So, and do it more scale, which would make it bigger because all the current stuff is scaled to the 3 3/4 inch, and then or do Luke's X-Wing with a highly detailed scaled version. I think those would be hugely popular. And I'd love to see that. And I did see the toys I was excited about, and it's still in prototype and not official releases. I forget the company right now. I've got it somewhere. I could try to find it, but they're doing a scaled version of the Viper from the original Battlestar Galactica series and coming out with 3 3/4 inch figures. And I went up close, took some pictures of it. It looks phenomenal. That would be a great piece to have up with some of the figures around it and being scaled with those figures in mind. Is just that would be a gorgeous piece for us older collectors, that like to collect that stuff. But so we'll see what HasLabs does next year because they always do big reveals, and so I don't know.
The big thing is to notice what they're not doing. Anything from the sequel series.
No, they're not. I mean, it's very
Nothing.
limited on any of that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like I got a poster too, and it was all for the 20th anniversary of Lucasfilm Animation for Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool poster.
So
But yeah, so it's everything is all about the stuff that's been a hit, and there's nothing in the Rey era. And I've been seeing a lot of videos. It's funny that they're doing AI reimagining videos, and like where she says she's Skywalker, she's getting trashed by Luke Skywalker and Anakin and all this
the
other
ghost.
stuff. They're all,
the ghost
like,
here.
they're like, your trilogy was sucked. You had no action. You sucked, and I'm like, oh my god. I mean, she wasn't that bad, but again, that lends more to the writing and storytelling than actual acting.
The Rey character, I liked. I liked the Rey character a lot.
Yep.
It's just the whole. Well, we know. One last thing I want to bring up before we go is we didn't have a chance to talk about it last week because you were in San Diego, but this falls under the WTF. Why the heck can't studios understand their fan base? It's like, are you trying to lose millions of dollars? This is the Hollywood Reporter. That's a reputable site, right?
Yep.
Produced.
Yep.
Taika Waititi is going to do the Judge Dredd movie. There is no one who wants this.
No.
There is no Judge Dredd fan who wants this.
No.
Like,
well, there may be some out
why?
there, but the thing is this: you just go look at what he did with Love and Thunder.
Right. Once he
when
had free
when he had
reign.
free reign, and what did he do? I wanted to destroy the franchise. The Judge Dredd, we've been wanting another movie since the one came out, 10, 15 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah, with Carl Urban.
Yep, which was great. But yeah, it's I don't know.
They did Judge Dredd right there.
Yeah, and if he's gonna come in and make it corny, campy, and suck, then no.
If you take a franchise where the core fan base is yelling no, you need to change direction now. Save yourself hundreds of millions of dollars and get back to like no one wants this. I mean, Taika Waititi, out of his own mouth, said he's the franchise killer. He enjoys ruining your heroes.
Yep.
That's what he wants to do. And that's the mentality he went into Thor Love and Thunder with.
Yeah. Yeah, because people look at it, they go, oh, well, he did the other Thor he did really good. It's like, yeah, he came in and just directed it. And they had him on a tighter rein. And some of the comedic stuff he put in worked, but they didn't allow him just to do whatever. Love and Thunder.
Yeah, he's good when he's dialed back and under control of someone else. But when you give him free reign, it becomes childish, elementary school humor, overdone.
Yeah.
15 scenes of a screaming billy goat.
Yeah. Yeah, it got annoying after a little bit.
So I don't get it. Like this right here, like people who get paid a lot of money are making these choices. How can they not? Go read the social media. No one likes this. There's not one person in support of this.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's my WTF of July.
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm not sure why. They talk in here like in the Variety's version of the article, which they're both legitimate. 95's big budget flop, of course, because they tried to do too much comedy and they took away from what Judge Dredd was. The one with Carl Urban, they talk about misfiring at the box office. Well, they didn't give it proper advertising because they don't know what to do with Judge Dredd in terms of that. Judge Dredd, realistically, almost should be better done as a streaming service type series. Built,
it's a hardcore. You're hitting the crowd that likes Game of Thrones, and it's a hardcore series.
Yeah, they should go back, look at the original comics, and from there find a good storyline to introduce the character and do like an 8-episode series to truly introduce that world, the character, the judges, things like that. And I think that would be better than trying to do another 2-hour movie. Though they did, because the thing that worked with the Carl Urban one was they kept one little story, they kept it tight, and they moved through that. Where the Sylvester Stallone was, here's Judge Dredd, and I am the law, and he's running around. And after a while, I was like, okay, yeah, you're just Sylvester Stallone action guy running around with Rob Schneider on your back going, copies, anybody?
Yeah.
Copies, you know?
Well,
So.
and like the mistake they made there was similar to what they did with the attempted revamp of the Mummy franchises. It was a Tom Cruise movie. It wasn't a Mummy movie. And Judge Dredd at the time was a Sylvester Stallone movie, not a Judge Dredd movie. Plus, he came out with Demolition Man. I mean, they were virtually almost the same movie.
Oh, yeah.
They were back to back to each other. Like, memory wise, I can't remember which scenes were from which. They're like the same movie.
Yeah.
So,
and Demolition Man worked for what it was. It is because it was meant to be an action comedy. And
yeah, it was a parody of the future.
Yeah, and everything else. But when you get to like Judge Dredd, it's like, oh, geez, really? Come on, you know, it was just horrible.
The sad part about Demolition Man is it was meant to be a parody of what the future was becoming.
Yeah,
and a lot of it has become true.
Oh yeah.
We're just all we need now are the clamshells.
Yeah, they never did explain the three seashells. It's the seashells, 3 seashells.
Yeah,
they're like, he doesn't know how to use 3 seashells, and they never explained it. So,
yep.
Well,
but
we'll talk some more next week. I probably won't see much this week at all, movie wise, unless it's streaming. I'm not gonna probably I'm gonna try to go Tuesday to see Fantastic Four.
Yeah, go see. It's worth it.
I wanted to. I just time wise, I thought about doing that yesterday and not working. I said, I better work, and then I just got stuff going on the next 2 days, and then back to work again, and then I got time next Tuesday.
To hear your take.
Yeah, and then I know this weekend I kind of want to see it, but I'm not like overly rushing to go see it. Is the new Naked Gun movie with Liam Neeson? The trailers look okay. It's gonna be that stupid sight gag comedy that can work or not work. So we'll see how it does, especially with what's her name? That's in it.
Pam Anderson.
Pam Anderson, yeah. So
well, the biggest thing to come out of the press tour is it sounds like they're dating.
Really?
Liam Neeson and Pamela, they're hinting at it, and so I don't know if they're just trying to create press for themselves for the movie, or if they really are. I don't know.
Well, you know, his wife died how long ago in that skiing accident, and then she's been divorced a couple times. So
so
who knows? So,
well, that seems to be the biggest thing out of their press tour. Not really the movie.
Yeah,
it's more the antics of them two.
And you can tell how much I paid attention to both. So, hey.
Yeah. Well, what people might not realize, when you do San Diego Comic-Con, the whole world is its own thing. You're so tied up in that week. It's the rest of the world doesn't exist till you get back home.
Right. So cool. All right. Hey, we'll catch you guys next week and talk some more fun stuff. So have a good one. Bye.
Take care.